Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Swapna Thurgule. We are discussing a second chapter, advertising and pricing. See, the next point is a statutory regulation of advertising. Complementing the ASCI code are Indian laws governing specific media, specific population and specific goods and services. The most significant of these laws are listed here. It is divided into three parts, and the first is laws governing media. The following laws are governing the media. The first is the Press Council Act 1978. The second is a Capable Television Network Rules 1994. The Code for Commercial Advertising on Doordarshan and All India Radio. Next is Electronic Media Monitoring Center. Norms for Journalist Conduct issued by the Press Council of India. Code of Conduct of the News Broadcasters Association. Now see the laws which are protecting society and the customers or the consumers is Emblems and Names, that is Prevention of Improper Use Act 1950, a Young Persons Harmful Publications Act 1956, Companies Act 1956, then the Standards of Weight and the Measures Act 1976, Indecent Representation of Women Act 1986, the Consumer Protection Act 1985, it's 1986, the laws related to intellectual property rights. Now see the laws which are the industry specific. The first is the Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940, the Transportation of Human Organs Act 1994, the Drugs and Magical Remedies Act 1954, the Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act 1994, the Advocates Act 1961, Infant Milk Substitute, the Feeding Bottles and the Infant Foods Act 1992, then the Securities and the Exchange Board of India Act 1992, the Price Cheats and the Money Circulation Schemes Act 1978, the Price Cheats and the Money Circulation Schemes Act 1978, the Cigarettes and the Other Tobacco Products Act 2003, Public Gambling Act 1867, the Lotteries Regulation Act 1998 and the Prize Competition Act 1955. Indian Medical Counseling Regulations 2002 and the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. These laws regulate the industry's operations. See the next, the claims for the misleading advertising. Any advertisement or promotion to the television, radio or any other electronic media, newspapers, banners, posters, handbills, wall writing, etc. that means represents the nature, characteristics, qualities or the geographic origin of goods, services for a commercial activities so as to mislead the consumer could be broadly defined as a misleading advertisement. The advertising should give a true and fair information to the customer. Now see, to claim that an advertisement is false, a petitioner must prove that the first, a false statement of fact has been made by the advertiser about the goods or services or the commercial activities leading to deception of the audience, and the deception has either resulted in or is likely to result in. A person must furnish all the documents, deeds, agreements, etc. that he or she has in order to solicit a remedy in case harmed already. Under the ASCI code, complaints against advertisements can be made by any person who considers them to be a false, misleading, offensive, or unfair. There are three types of complaints handled by the ASCI, which are the complaints from the general public, complaints from the members of ASCI, and the complaints from one advertiser against another. The complaints are evaluated by an independent Consumer Complaints Council, that is known as CCC. The CCC decides upon the complaints within a period of 4 to 6 weeks. Following are the products and services which is banned from the advertising in media. The first is tobacco, then alcoholic, then the human organs, the magical remedies, the price cheats and the money circulation schemes, then the not allowed to the physicians for the advertise their service and the legal services. Now see the harms and offense. The first is advertising aims at children, that is advertising during and immediately before and after children's programming. As per Young Persons Harmful Publication Act 1956, it is prohibited the advertisements relating to any harmful publication, that is any publication that aims to corrupt a young person by encouraging him or her to commit offences or the act of violence or the any other manner whatsoever. The second is for medicine and health. Under section 3 of the Drugs and Magical Remedies Act, there are specific laws that prohibit the advertising of a certain drugs for the treatment of a certain diseases and the disorders. The next is a medical devices. The authority principally responsible for regulating medical devices in India is the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. It is known as CDSCO. Its functions includes the regulating the medical devices industry by approving for import, manufacture and the sale of medical devices in India. The next is the alcohol, that includes the beer, wine and spirits. As per the Cable Television Network Rules 1994, the advertising code of Doordarshan and All India Radio and the norms for the journalist conduct issued by the Press Council of India prohibit any advertisement directly or indirectly promoting the production, sales or the consumption of cigarettes, the tobacco products, wine, etc. is completely prohibited. The next is human organs. As per Transplantation of the Human Organs Act 1994, this law prohibits any advertising inviting persons to supply or the offering to supply or any human organ for the payment. Nutritional claim. The nutritional claims by the advertiser for selling their product undergo a need check by the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, which is the country's food regulatory under the provisions of the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. This regulatory body restricts any kind of false nutritional claims made by the companies and restricts them from broadcasting on television. Social and a national interest. As per the Article 19 of the Constitution of India protects the right to freedom of speech and the expression, which is also extended to advertisements. However, like any other rights, this freedom is also subject to reasonable restrictions imposed by the Article 19(2) of the Constitution of India. The next is a religion. Under the Cable Television Networks Rule 1994, Advertising Code of the Doordarshan and All India Radio and the norms for the journalist conducted issued by the Press Council of India, the advertisement based on the religion or to hurt religions, the sentiments are not allowed. Also, such advertisement may be the punishable under the Indian Penal Code, the 1860. The ninth one is firearms, weapons and ammunition. Sales and purchase of such items requires a license from government authorities. Therefore, the advertisements related to such product are not permissible in India under the Arms Act the 1959. Tenth, it's the rights of privacy. The Electronic Media Monitoring Center of the Ministry of Information and the Broadcasting, the Government of India has made a self-regulatory guidelines applicable to the broadcasting service providers wherein to protect the privacy of an individual. And the last, 11th, is a violence in advertising. The Cable Television Network Rules 1994, the norms for the journalist conducted issued by the Press Council of India Act, Advertising Code of Doordarshan and the ASCI Code prohibit any violence in advertisements.